So, just having a look at the camper trailer after our last trip, and as you can see, that wheel is sagging right out to the right and is out of alignment. It's an MDC Robson camper. This one's good because this one I did not long ago, so it's got new bushes, but this one, the bushes are cactus, gonna have to be replaced. First, we'll have to get it unpacked and get that box off the top and move it over before doing anything else. Okay, she's been moved over. So now we've got enough room to work on the front. Ordered 4 new bushes from MDC, $20 each, $10 delivery, pretty good value when you do it yourself. And we'll need ratchet and shifter. Alright, we need to get them shockies off. I'll grab myself a shifter and an 18mm socket. We need to get these two off. Just climbing around underneath here. So you can see this is off-road suspension. I've disconnected the brake cable already just to make things easier. It's easy enough, they're just 8mm. Alright, let's get these off. Let's get that with a rag, just to make it a bit easier. Just take the nut and washer off. I'll just leave the bolt in there for the moment so it doesn't move. Okay, that's the other one done. Now we'll do the top. one's a little tighter. A little bit more tension on that one, I think, because it's where the bushes are. It's a bit twisted, so it's putting a bit of pressure on this shock. So it's feeling a bit harder to get out. Okay, cool. That's both shockies out. I'll be able to move on to the next step. I want to get this chain undone and then jack everything up, take the wheel off and drop this swing arm down and remove the chain, the shocky, the spring. I'm doing this film in steps, so yeah. See you for the next step. Alright, cuff a bit of wire, locking it in place. Just a standard set of pliers. And just reach in there and just get it undone. This should just come undone with the pliers. When I did the one on the other side, I didn't find it to be too tight. Alright, just chuck the wheel back in there so it doesn't get lost. Right, we're almost ready to jack this up. Take the wheel off. I've pre-loosened the swing arm bolts. So once this is off the ground, we can get the swing arm out, take those off. Just need to drop the wheel off as well. So put the legs down, get the jack out, and make a start. Jack the leg down. Safety. Okay, need to pre-loosen the wheel nuts. I already took the tension off these earlier. Right. Out of the way. Grab the jack. Get everything out of the way that I don't need. I need to find the jack point underneath the swing arm. As you can see, as this comes up, that'll fit on there perfectly. See the swing arms coming up because there's so much play in the bush on the left and the wheel's not lifting yet. Okay, there we go. It's starting to come up. Okay, almost enough. Alright, and we're off the ground. So, what I'll do, adjust these jacks. Tension up. Okay, do the front one as well. Not going to go too tight on this because we're also using the jockey wheel. So, jockey wheel will hold the front tension of the trailer. Alright. As you can see, the wheel's free spinning. Good, it's off the ground. Alright, with those bushes out of the way. Okay. Get these nuts out. Once you loosen it off, it's usually easy enough to do this by hand, as long as it's not rusted. Alright, as you can see, we've got the wheel off, the chain's undone, we've still got the jockey wheel supporting the swing arm, so what we need to do is just provide a little bit more support underneath the back of the trailer, and we can drop this down. Actually, we can just drop this down as it is. Alright, so we will gently lower this. Before I take the pressure off the swing arm too much, I've just doubled up on these jack stands. It's not ideal, but we'll just provide a little bit of reassurance just in case that leg's not strong enough to hold the weight entirely. Alright, I'll lift the rest of the weight down. Just gently, a little bit at a time. And it should just come away gently. Great. Move the spring. Set that aside. This off just to make sure that it doesn't get pulled too tight. This is very heavy. We're now free to get in and take out those swing arm bolts. Right, let's take that one out completely until the other one's free. Now these are very heavy, so as you get this out and drop it down, you want to be very careful. Now, part of the problem here is that the brake cable is still attached. There's no way to just cleanly disconnect that, so you just want to feed that up, and I'll find somewhere to rest this. So, I might just use at the moment, it's just a bolt until I can work out the best way to move forward. Okay, we should be able to get the screwdriver in here. It's a very grubby job. This is all the dirt and grease that's still in there. And just start prying these out. They're not in there too tight, which is good. That's a bit of wiggling. Now it comes, if you look closely at that, you can see that it's quite messed up in the middle compared to the new one. And that's why we can't adjust the wheel alignment on these and why the wheel's dragging, because that is a bit worn out. Alright, so we need to get all 4 of these out. Okay, sleeve out. They just pop straight out. That one's also very worn out. Okay, other side. Pop that sleeve out. Might be easier. I think angling this around so I'm on a better angle. Bring that wheel around, just need to be mindful of that brake cable. Electronic brake control. Okay, just stand that like that for now if we can. Great. That'll allow me to sit up and have a bit more room to work on getting these ones out. These ones are a little more tricky, I don't want to come out. Okay, also worn out. Alright, after a little bit of manipulation, that one's come out too. That's also very worn out. Compare that to the new one. You can see the size difference. Alright, I'll take a little break and then we'll clean this up. Happens to the old bushes as they get worn out, supposed to be replaced every 5,000 kilometers for that reason. Basically, they become worn out, what happens is it becomes impossible to adjust your wheel alignment when you tow out, because these become so worn that they're out of shape. I tried adjusting these before our last trip, and as soon as we got down the road, basically the wheel was dragging out almost immediately. So yeah, as you can see, you've got no choice but to replace them as part of your maintenance. Okay, that's it for a little while. We'll give it a clean up a bit more. We can install our new bushes. I'll leave that sit for a little bit longer. It's had 2 blasts, and then I'll give it a wipe, some paper towel. Should be good to go. Alright, I've given it a wipe and I've let it dry a little bit, so we'll have to clean it out. Get that tray out of the way. Alright, now the tray's out of the way, we can have a look at putting in our new bushes. Got some grease, chuck some grease on them, and then we can push them in and we can start getting things reassembled. Alright, we'll get a bit of grease there in the suspension as well. Away. Just to make putting it back together a bit easier. Okay, there is a tab on these. If you can get the tab lined up, they tend to push in without too much effort. Okay, you can see that tab just there. Okay, just move this out a bit. Make it a bit easier to work on. Tabs at the top there, so we'll line that up. Okay, that's all the way in. Alright, we've got our sleeves here, so grease them up, we'll put them back in as well. Making sure we jam a good amount of grease in there. This is the pivot point for the suspension, so you want to make sure that it's well greased. And of course there's no grease nipples on these, so you got to pack it all in as you reassemble. Okay, tap with the hammer. On the other side. start getting this reassembled. Alright, there's the spring back in. Let's hook up that chain. Okay, let's come a little higher. Alright, now that chain's connected back up, the spring's in, we'll put the wheel back on just for safety purposes before we put the suspension back on. Just bring it up a little higher. Alright, we'll just leave the wheel up off the ground for the moment so we can get the jockeys back on, and then we can do the wheel alignment. Alright, grab some grease. This jockey's clearly not great. MDC don't have any spares for these right now, so I'm just going to have to put it back on, replace it when spares become available. Right. Alright, so wheels back on, everything's just on loose. So we've got the bolts in here for the suspension swing arm. So wheel alignment's not done yet. I will have to jack this up a little higher so I can get the jack out. I know it's sitting on the corner struts at the moment, which isn't 100% what I would like, but unfortunately I don't have a high lift jack. So I'll jack it up so it's off that, and then we can use my makeshift tool and work on the wheel alignment. Okay, jack the camper up high enough so I could lower the jack. You can see there's a gap there, so we can adjust the wheel alignment. Let's have a look. Now mind that the camper is on a bit of a lean, so what we need to do is adjust probably a little bit down. I'm not too concerned about that at the moment. What we need to worry about is the alignment in and out, which is pretty close. So we'll get in, give it a little bit of adjustment, and then we'll tighten it up. Then we can lower everything down and hook the parking brake back up. Actually, just a little bit.
Huh? Yep.
What's up?
So Mum wanted me to go get Coast Coast salad on the scooter.
Yep.
And I figured that you wouldn't want me carrying the scooter through. So do you want to do that?
Alright, give me a second. Alright, let's bring it through. Alright, stay safe, okay?
Okay, love you.
Love you too. Have a good ride.
Yes.
Right, just need to get these tied off before I can adjust them. Even with the other one, we'll adjust that so it's up. Then we can have a look at the alignment and adjust as necessary. Okay. Almost. Okay, pretty close. Let's have a look at what the alignment looks like. Okay, so that's quite flush there, and that's quite flush there. So that looks pretty good straightness wise. I'm working off the body here of the camper, so not much else to work off apart from visual inspection when it comes to vertical alignment. Okay, using my special tool. Alright, so we're off a bit. So when we come out about 15 to 20 mil, we're showing as vertical. So if I drop the weight down on this, it should come in pretty close. Line, actually no, it's towing out, leaning out rather than leaning in. Alright, so I'm gonna have to adjust the inside tab to bring that wheel in the opposite direction. So let's do that. Okay, let's use this one. Alright, see that moving. Let's give that a check. Okay, so we've got a lot bigger gap there now. And we've thrown out our alignment a little. Alright. Let's rotate that a little further and see what we get. So we've still got a bit. still pretty good, left to right. What I might do is put that back, drop it down, and then I try to adjust the inside. So we know in this tab, because they're brand new bushes, when this tab is pointing all the way up, the front to back alignment is pretty good. Alright, let's get that one tightened. That's nice and tight. I'll just give a little bit of adjustment so it's back up to the middle. Actually, this is the one we want to probably adjust the other way. Okay, that one's pointing down. Okay, let's check our vertical alignment. Alright, down's in place. Alright, that's looking a lot better. So, if I bring that out, 10 mil, we've got a small gap, and it shows as this. Alright, let's check our front to back. Not too bad. Looking pretty good. Alright. We'll tighten that up and we'll drop it down and recheck it. Alright, jack this up a little bit so we can take the pressure off the stability legs, and then we can lower it down. Alright, it's fully extended. you go, gently comes. Okay, rejecting the wall. Right, let's check our vertical alignment, and it's actually spot on underweight. Front to back, looking pretty good, and looking pretty good. So that's it. That's with the old bushes taken out. You can see they're just flogged. All I need to do now, just double check the tightness of everything and do up the handbrake cable. Okay, now everything else is put back together. We just need to hook the handbrake cable back up. Alright, so let's get that run through. Alright, through the guide. Through the brake lever. Pliers. Right, just need to get it pulled through nice and tight. Then get our first clamp. Actually, that needs to come off. Slide that over there like that. Okay, the bottom plate on. Grab our first nut. Alright, just got my 8mm socket, so I'll use that to do this up finger tension. So, use my pliers, pull that nice and tight. Just make sure that clamp's in a good spot. Alright, that end. Alright, just get it finger tight just to start it off. So this is just our first of 2 clamps. Oh, tighten that up. Loosen it. Okay, second clamp goes in closer to the brake lever. Okay. Just get our nuts on there. Right, just made a little socket just to tighten that up again by hand. Alright, look at that, a good tighten, and then we can put our lock nuts on. Double check this one, make sure it's nice and tight. Okay, so our clamps are on. We just need to put our nuts on. And then we get just the handbrake cable. So these ones have a gel lining, so they won't come off. Yeah, good. Turn up the handbrake cable. What are you doing?
I wanted to show you something.
Now's not a good time. You have to wait a sec. Okay, well done. Alright, prior to doing all this, I made sure that the handbrake cable was nice and loose. So now that we've adjusted everything, we're going to have to tighten this up a bit. Alright, so I'll just back these nuts off. I believe this is a 30mm socket, probably easier if you actually had the spanner. 30mm nuts, probably 30mm, sorry. Okay. Okay. Alright, So just using the finger tighten here with the nuts loosen, tighten that up a bit. From there, we can just check the handbrake, make sure it's engaging, which it is. Back that off. Fix that up. Okay, cool. Need a little bit of slack there just to make sure the brakes aren't pulled on all the time when you're traveling, and then just tighten your box nuts back up. Okay, that's it. All done. Ready to go.